All right, Borax crystal experiment number 2. Gonna do a couple things here. First, let me show you what's going on here. I'll explain this in a minute. Just fooling around with stuff until I get my my silicone molds and some other products, full pipe cleaners and stuff like that. So in the meantime, I'm just messing around just to see what happens and everything. And like I said in the other video, I didn't even post it yet, but it seems to form differently in this glass compared to this. I don't know if this is porcelain. This is Corningware. This is probably from like 1897. So I don't know if it's like porcelain or something. I don't know what it is. But anyway, you see, like, well, on the video you'll see. All right, so, hold on, I might sneeze. So what you're seeing here in the corners, that white, and over here, that's left over from the first experiment. I chipped it away and I threw it in there to see if it will clump onto each other and grow. This has been 24 hours. I haven't seen much growth over the last few hours. So that's what that is. That normally doesn't grow like that. And this is a pendant. So over here, I took this one out earlier. This came out really nice. It's hard to see. They're the flat surfaces. They might look slightly rounded, but they're really not. They're nice, like triangles. Look up top towards my finger. Triangles and really cool. Looks like rock candy, right? So this came out really well. I haven't, what's it called? I haven't sprayed it yet. Let me show you the one that I got that I sprayed. I'm reaching for it now. So this was from the original experiment yesterday. You can kind of see the difference. Let's see if I can get it to glare. So hold on one second. It's kind of hard because of the way I'm holding that little guy. So you see, wait. Let me go like this. Okay, you see how they are a slight bit dulled. There's some like meltedness, you might want to call it. That's because of the protective I use. I'll show you that in a second here. So once again, really quickly here. Here's one that, and it's kind of, now that I see it on camera, it's kind of going to be hard to tell the difference, but maybe you can see this is more shiny and glary and more segmented and crystallized. And let me just take that one out again, and then I'm going to show you what I used. And again, I had it on hand. I didn't purposely buy it, just messing around. So look up top. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but with the naked eye, you can kind of see it. So this is what I used. The good news is it works. Now, how well it will seal and last, I don't know. But I had it, so I used it. Most people use nail polish, and they use a brush. And I notice you can see the brush strokes, and it kind of just, to me, I don't like it. So I had to spray. My idea was to get something and dip it real quickly and let it drip off. You know, something quick drying. But this is incredibly quick drying, like within seconds to minutes. And I didn't do it like real professional. I put it on leaning up on some wood with cardboard underneath, and I just really from about 8 inches away, like that real quick, you know, in a fanning motion. First I tested the spray, and then I flipped it over. I even held it up by hand, not this one, but the little guy. It's not focusing here. And I held it up by hand, and I sprayed it again. So that's what I used, and it seems to work. And it's for wood, metal, plastic, and more. So I had it for some other projects with rocks, and I guess I'm going to use it like this because it looks like it works well. It should seal and last long, I guess. Without doing it, the borax could get humidity or too dry and crumble. It could get wet by accident, and you won't have any crystals anymore. So, you know, you might want to look into this. This is like probably, I don't show, I think this cost me like $7 or something like that. It's heavy too. I used it a few times, and there's still a lot in there. So that's what's going on over here. That was yesterday's project. So I put this one in a little longer to see what happens. I'm going to take them out in a second to show you. I did a cool design there, and then I did that seashell. So in the first video, I did this. Now, it doesn't look as good as you saw in the first video. It's kind of weird, and I don't understand why, but Let's see if I can get a good angle. So it looks more like white snow now instead of clear crystal. So what happened was I put it in this thing right here, and I did it on purpose. And I filled that, I had filled that up, and then I let it crystallize a little bit. Then I put this in, and I was hoping to get a natural look like the inner part. The inner part is natural, and that's like the jar. So it's kind of cool because it looks like a crystallized fossil or something. You know what I mean? But what I'm going to do next in my third experiment is get some stuff like that going off the bottom of there, and then sit this down on it, and that way it should break off easily, and it should form crystals all around it, so it looks more natural, like like it was sitting in a fossil or a coral reef or something. As far as the white goes, what I'm thinking is it had too much water in it still, and it was done the same way as all the rest of the things I just showed you so far, and some other things that I didn't show you. And so what I did is I patted it down and I let it dry, but it still looked like it was going to be soggy, and I thought it would fall apart. So I wrapped it in paper towels and I put it in the refrigerator, and it hardened, but it didn't harden well. It's not hard like those crystal pendants. I could break this pretty easily, and it turned white. So I could keep it like this, give it away. The kids would love it, but I don't like the white look. I like the crystal look more than the white look. So I might do that again. Alright, so over here, what I'm going to do is I got this calcite, and it didn't acid bath and clean that well, but it does look pretty cool. I found it in a drainage dish with some amazing pieces, and so what I'm going to do, looks like a piece of coral or something, so I'm just going to mess around with it, threw some chips in of amethyst, and I don't know if I'm going to sit this in like this, like let this fill up in there, and let it start to crystallize, and then throw this in and let it just sit there, and then maybe I can just kind of like, because it won't be touching the whole side, and maybe I could just crack it off of there. I'm not going to hang it and do all that kind of stuff right now. I don't feel like doing that. So I want to see if this will look really cool. And these are like, you can press these. That's how I popped that out so easily. So I might be able to go like this and crack it like I did that, and then just have this piece. So that's what I think I'm going to do. Or I can do what I started to do. You can't probably see it, but it's crystalline on the bottom. So I might be able to sit it there and then take my hand and just kind of crack off that little bit that it's doing it, but it might not work that well. So I'm not sure yet, but this should be interesting, and it should come out rather well like this, and I might do that over. So that's being said, let me just do this real quickly here. This should be done. I'll take this out and put it out to show you, and then I'll take that out, and then I'm going to see how that seashell came out and compare it to the one I just showed you. And what I'm trying to do is form like a matrix. Like, it crystallizes around the outside and on the bottom, but you really can't chip it out. Now, for whatever reason, and if you watch the first video, in here, it started making spiral, like, it looked like this, and it was spinning upwards, and it was curling, and it was raised, and I don't know why. I did nothing different. I guess it's this, whatever this is, and how it wants to build compared to this round glass. But this is just basically, if you haven't done this or if you've seen a video, it's just crystalline all in there, almost like a mold, right? Now it won't get solid in the middle, it just forms around there in the base. But over here, it was piling up, and I was like, yes. I tried to like crack it and use a knife, but it was so hard. I was so, like right here, I could break that so easily. But in here, it was like so solid. It was like quartz crystal solid. I couldn't budge it. I was bending my stainless steel knife, what do you call it, like cheese spreader thing? Where is it? I'll show you. Like I bent this, trying to get it out, and I was trying to chip at it. Nothing would work. I was like so frustrated. So then I got the idea, like, I'm going to build little crystals and plop them in maybe. And I'm going to try to build a matrix, because I want to build a natural looking crystal matrix and then do stuff like this. You know what I mean? So it would be cool. Instead of just hanging things. Like, I want to do it that way. So Check out the first video. You'll see that. It was so awesome. Alright, so this is cool. So this was just in a few hours longer. It didn't build up much, but you can see how wonderful that is. And you could do these in color with dye. Some people just use colored, what's it called? This is copper twisted that I did. The pipe cleaners, colored pipe cleaners. I think it comes out too fake looking. Use dye, just use a little bit of dye so it's like a see-through red or a see-through blue, not like just solid green. I mean, you could do that. I personally don't like that. I collect crystals and cut and polish them and everything, and I don't like a fake look. Like Aqua Aura is the most I'll go. Some of that other stuff that's treated. A lot of people don't even realize the yellow crystals that they buy that they call cistrine isn't even real. That's usually amethyst or smoky quartz, which is vacuumed and chemical treated to turn yellow. It looks nice and everything, but people think it's natural and it's not. Although I do have a natural yellow that I found personally. I'll show you that just to show, in case you never heard that before. So this is cool. So I'm going to keep one of these natural and one of these in the sealer, this big guy here, and the other big guy natural or in the sealer, and I'm going to see how long they last. Now I really like this. I did this because I wanted something that would look nice, like grow like a circle or something. And there it goes. Came in a little bit better now. I would shorten it up though. It looks a little bit odd because it's too long of a stem maybe. But I think this would look really nice, and I wanted to see how it would come out compared to trying to make it, you know, another layer of copper in there to make more crystals. I like the donut shape. I think it looks really nice. Hold on one second. I get a better angle here. There, you can see how beautiful that is. So again, I'll seal this one up. I'm going to give it to my nephew or one of the kids out here. They'll think it's really cool. And I really like it. I like it better than that. I think I only like this, don't like it as much because it looks like rock candy that, you know, you get in a fancy restaurant for your hot chocolate or your coffee or something. This I really like. This looks really something more beautiful, and I'm thinking to shorten the stem and you'll have something really nice. I like the copper over the, what's it called? The pipe cleaner thing. I like that. I like the copper look behind it. You see my camera focuses for you so you can see. There. I kind of like that copper look in there. It looks pretty neat. You can do it however you want. So I'll seal this up and give it away to somebody as a pendant. One of the kids or something will like that. Okay, so that's real yellow. I found that. It's quartz. It's been in acid, so I know it's quartz. And because you might not be able to see it, but there's a quartz point flashing there. See the point laying down there? So this is real yellow. This is how I found it. I don't know what it is. Now I'm going to show you fake yellow. Hold on one second. Fake yellow and orange. Some of it's real because it has, the orange is real. The yellow is not. I'll show you a better example. Real, not real. The orange, yes, because that's rust or iron. Fake, real. Big difference, huh? It's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it was either smoky quartz or amethyst, and they turned it into that. Real, fake. And I found this. Yoo-hoo! Okay, so before I show you the seashell, let me show you my setup. So I had a stand I made out of copper, and I just set the seashell as you saw it on there. I was thinking that, you can see, right? You can't. There's no crystallization. It lifted right off. It had no stickiness. It didn't stick. It didn't crystallize to it or nothing. Came out awesome. So keep that in mind if you want to do that. The rest of the copper, I knew it. I had tested it earlier on a different piece, so it what do you call it? It crystallized all the way up, but it didn't crystallize on that. The seashell came out perfect and crystallized. I'm drying it, but it's doing exactly what this seashell did. I'll show you. It has a watery, you know, like ice, when ice starts to melt like slush, it has a little bit of that look in it, and I'm going to show you that. And so I don't know if it can dry naturally on its own, and then I can seal it up, or if it's going to, I'm not putting it in the fridge because I don't want the white, or if it's going to crumble or be brittle. I don't know, but let me show you that. So before I do that again, that's how I did it. I made like a stand, and then I did it like that. You can see how it goes. It's simple. and I sat the seashell on it. I literally lifted it up and thought, whoa, it didn't even stick. All right, so I got it under here trying to absorb some stuff, some of the stuff. And see, in my camera, look at that. Now let's see. See, like right in here, you might not be able to tell, but it's got a slushiness to it. Let me see if I can do this. Ah, come on. I mean, obviously you can see how crystally it is. There it goes a little bit. So can you kind of tell, like, look at like around the bottom rim here. I know it's blue and stuff, but it's got a gray slushiness when snow and ice start to melt. So I'm not sure. I'm going to keep drying it with the paper towel. It just doesn't feel as solid as this. Now you would think it'd be the opposite, right? Because this has just got a tiny little skinny copper to grow on. This had the whole seashell to grow on. But maybe it's the type of material, a chemical reaction, I don't know. I've seen other people do shells, but this is like kind of brittle and wet. Like it's not drying off instantly like this with the paper towel. So it's like water underneath there. So I don't know. The good news is I can always do it again. Try to get one more look at that. You know, I'm going to show you what it reminds me of in a second here. I got to be careful of this because this is too wet. Pieces will break off. Like druzy quartz, right? So it reminds me of this. These are quartz. If my camera will cooperate. These are like quartz spheres with druzy all over it. These are a little bit bigger. Pretty cool. So I'll let you know how that works. I'm going to let it dry and sit there. And I think that's it. Now I'm going to try to drain this so you can see my stand and what I did here and see if my experiment came out like I wanted it to. Okay, so here's a perfect example of that slush. Some of the pieces are actually slushy and snowflake-like, and other part, yeah. So I don't know why I did that. It didn't do that in that other pan I showed you, in that white pan. It was solid as a rock and there was no slush. I was hoping to build a base, like a nice matrix, where I could sort of pop a section like this to this, like pop that whole section off. And I was gonna do some artwork with it, but it's not working. But anyway, there's the stand. As you can see, the whole thing was obviously underwater, but this part didn't crystallize and the seashell came right off. So you might want to do that, make yourself a little stand. I don't know if you can do it with wood. I don't know. You know what? I think you can, because I think I've seen somebody doing crystal trees with wood and making their own crystal tree at home. So you probably can put wood and crystallize it, I guess. But yeah, you see how thin that is? That's not how it built up over there. That in that other white pan, it built up just like my pendant. It was so awesome. So it must have some kind of something to do between the glass compared to that other material. But there you go. Alright, so I'm going to pat this down a little bit. It's wet still. It's probably underneath the crystal, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have a cool hair dryer. That might do the trick. So I'm going to just pat it down in paper towels, and we don't have a lot of humidity at all, so hopefully it will dry nice and easy and stay nice and crystal looking and not white like that other guy. Alright, so if you stay with me this long, give me any advice, or if you picked up any ideas, you know, cool. Maybe get yourself some copper and try some stuff like this. Really cool. I'm waiting on my shapes, which would be like pyramid, cube, and sphere and stuff. So they're really easy and moldable silicone. I'm hoping that it will grow nice in there, and then I can just pop them out and have nice, perfect formed shapes with this kind of growth on them. We'll see if it works or not. But anyway, the seashell stuff looks cool if I can get it down right. That's really, really awesome. And the cool thing is, the girl next door gave me these guys. The other shells are freshwater. The snail shell you saw was freshwater. I do have freshwater mussels too. I'll show you the difference in a minute if I can remember. So you see how cool that is in there already? She has tons of these, so if it works out and she likes these, maybe I can grab a whole bunch from her and make some designs, make some colored ones. Although I like the natural color. Alright, so here's the difference in the river mussels. They have like a different color to them. Sort of like a rainbow pearl essence look to them. And they didn't clean up too well on that side, but that should look cool. Almost like a butterfly might look like with crystals. So I'm going to try that too. Alright, thanks for watching. Give me any advice you might know if you've been doing seashells like this and how to get that slushy water stuff from happening. And any other advice. And ask any questions you want. Alright, lots of love to you all. Bye-bye.